Have you seen countless videos where YouTubers try to motivate you to become a data analyst in 3 months? That easy? With no degree, no math knowledge, completely free? Well, that's awesome. Then I'm a grumpy old school guy who finally climbed his ladder of success working for IKEA as a consultant data analyst and who spent all these years studying in the university going deep into math and statistics. Did I do it for nothing? Yeah, I might have just skipped that. Go on YouTube, listen to some advice, learn everything in 3 months, and hack the system. Hey, I'm Alex, and this is my take on how to become a data analyst, but right. First and foremost, be very clear about your motivation. This is something often neglected. People just go into data analytics because they think it's a highly demanded job which will pay them a lot of money in exchange for their labor. This might be so, but this approach is likely to consume your soul and make you unhappy. This is not an easy job you can just cruise with while listening to chill music. In contrast, you have to invest yourself into data analytics. You cannot just download the skills and effortlessly apply them. There is no workaround. To succeed without mental breakdown, you need to look for intrinsic motivation. Your soul should correlate with your work. In other words, you should kinda like it. Data analytics should be an end in itself for you, not just means to an end. This is not even my advice, this is some deep philosophy from Immanuel Kant. Well, I also struggle with intrinsic motivation a lot. As the time passes, it gets more and more difficult to explain to myself why should I write another SQL query or build another dashboard. Maybe that's why I'm here seeking intrinsic motivation, sharing my knowledge with you. Given that, let me know what is your intrinsic motivation to become a data analyst in the comments below. Nevertheless, let's say you have the right intrinsic motivation and for some reason your inner self gravitates towards data analytics. So, do you just go ahead and learn a bunch of SQL, Python, and Power BI, as it is often advised? Surely not. Now we are getting to the second point, the soft skill. No one is talking about that seriously, but your soft skill is paramount for success in data analytics. Data analytics is no silent back-end position. Most likely, you will have to talk a lot to business people, heavily engage with management, and show the best version of yourself verbally. You will have to talk out data-related requests from often confused minds of your colleagues, figure out what to do with this request, and then actually do something and communicate the result of your work. This is no joke. You should be able to articulate complex stuff and help your colleagues make decisions on millions of dollars based on your dashboards. Sounds cool? Yeah, there is only one problem. Unlike hard skills, you cannot learn soft skill in 3 months. Usually, soft skill is a part of your personality. You generally know if you can talk to people, explain stuff to them. It's a feeling. But what if your soft skill is poor and you know it? Well, there are multiple ways you can boost it, like temporary going for an easy to hop on job that demands soft skill, like sales, customer service, etc. Theater classes, volunteering for presentations, and so on. Don't be discouraged. Improving your soft skills is a journey, one that enriches not just your career, but your personal life too. But it is not a short one. By the way, this is my first video on this channel and I have big plans for it. Soft skill is a wide topic that needs a separate video, so be sure to subscribe. Now, for those of you who are not native speakers, like I am, even if you have the greatest soft skill, without at least upper intermediate spoken English, you won't be able to work in a decent international company, what you surely should be aiming for. Why? Because you simply will not be able to explain yourself. Well, there are hacks in the system, say, where you can be a junior data analyst who does all the dirty data cleaning and stays silent while his greater colleague presents the fruits of his labor. But it's a temporary fix, not a career strategy. So be sure to continuously improve your English and don't be hard on yourself. Learning a language is not quick, but it's essentially worth it. Now, let's say you are motivated, you have the soft skill and your English is superior. Then let's talk about another vital component of success, your credibility. It is obvious that if a company is going to give you its most important treasure, namely the data, this company must trust you. And what are the reasons for the company to trust you? There are two main reasons. First, your education, and second, your work experience. Let's say you have no relevant work experience, then the only thing left is education. But what if you have no degree? Then, statistically speaking, your probability to become a data analyst goes low. Of course, statistically low does not mean impossible. The chances of Arnold Schwarzenegger succeeding in Hollywood were also low, but he made it. However, banking on being an outlier is a risky bet. Scrolling through LinkedIn, the pattern is clear. Degrees dominate. They're not just paper as many might think. Given that the university was decent, it signals your capability to tackle rigorous learning, interact effectively in a professional setting, and yes, even endure those useless philosophy classes. In other words, it means you're well shaped, like a Greek sculpture, but for the corporate world. Ideally, a degree in economics, math, or computer science from a place like Oxford sets you apart. But let's face the reality, not everyone can take that road. Local universities or online degrees are viable alternatives. They cannot replicate an Ivy League, but they count. And if formal education is beyond reach, lean into quality online courses in key areas like statistics and data visualization. Formulate a portfolio of those courses you took so that it looks like you spent a lot of time learning, just like you would do in a decent university. And I do not mention free courses here, although they won't harm. You need to make sure courses give you certificates that will make your credibility. Coursera or Datacom are good options to go. I would generally recommend them over Udemy. When even online courses stretch your budget, there are another hack in the system. Seek roles related to data handling. Data entry office positions, for instance, might not be glamorous, but they immerse you in the data environment. No degrees required. And you get paid. Work there for a year or two. Yeah, this approach isn't about shortcuts. It's about strategic steps towards building your credibility from the ground up. Next point, analytical thinking. Good if you derive it from your degree, as I did. Or did my degree derive it on me? Nevertheless, here is the hard truth. SQL, Python, Power BI are merely tools. Without sharp analytical thinking, they are as useful as a hammer without a hand to swing it. It is usually that what you are hired for. But what is this analytical thinking, actually? Let's use the matrix analogy. Data is everywhere, like matrix code. But just like Neo saw patterns, a data analyst needs analytical thinking to see the truth hidden within. It's not just about knowing the matrix, aka data, but understanding how it connects, bends, and reveals hidden insights. It's about asking the right questions. What's the anomaly? Answering with data trends and outliers. What's causing this? Answering with digging deeper, finding relationships. What if we change this? Answering with predicted future outcomes. With analytical thinking, you will unlock the truth in the data, just like Neo unlocked the secrets of the matrix. But how to obtain this skill? It's not that trivial. It needs practice. A good university degree would usually give you that through countless scientific challenges you would face in the academic world. However, if you do not have access to that, try online challenges. For example, dive into Kaggle. It's a goldmine for those willing to learn from real-world data puzzles. Sure, Kaggle leans towards data science, but it's ripe with opportunities for exploratory data analysis, a cornerstone of what data analysts do. Take an example of Titanic. Try to answer a question whether rich passengers were more likely to survive. Real growth comes from wrestling with data, seeking what lies beneath its surface. Spot that outlier, catch that error, identify that emerging trend. Each discovery is a victory for analytical thinking. Finally, to transfer your passion for data, credibility, soft skills, and analytical thinking into tangible results, you need the right tools in your arsenal. For that, there is an all-time classic stack: SQL, Python, Tableau, or Power BI. SQL or structured query language is the backbone for fetching and sculpting data into the form you need. Python is your Swiss Army knife, versatile for everything from data cleaning to crunching numbers for statistical analysis. For making data not just seen but understood, Tableau and Power BI are your go-to for crafting intuitive dashboards. In reality, most likely you'll spend most of your time on Tableau or Power BI, ideally with well-prepared data, but don't count on it. Make no mistake, mastering these tools isn't optional, it's fundamental. For an entry-level position, given that you have other things we have talked about, learning these would take anything from 3 months to a year, depending on your pace. I suggest hitting up reputable courses on platforms like Coursera and DataCamp for structured learning. Udemy might also work, although their certificates are less credible, I would say. Tight budget? Then go for free courses on YouTube or elsewhere. But keep in mind, point number 5, credibility. Free courses won't give you any credibility. ChatGPT is a true blessing for data analysts. Use it along the way. Think of it as your tutor who helps you here and there. Ask it to correct your code, explain your problem, and give you ideas. But at this point, ChatGPT cannot become your professor, who reliably will guide you through the entire journey, unfortunately. Once you've got a handle on the basics, it's time to showcase your skills through a portfolio. Once again, dive into open source data platforms like Kaggle. Start with projects that resonate or challenge you. For instance, with the Titanic dataset, tackle questions that uncover insights beyond the surface. What factors contributed most to survival rates? How do ticket prices correlate with survival chances? And so on. After polishing your SQL and Python code, upload it to GitHub. Hint: run it by ChatGPT for a review to ensure it's not just functional, but sleek and professional. Then bring your findings to life with Tableau Public or Power BI by creating dashboards and publishing them. But before, spend some time searching on web for dashboards from other people. Develop taste, make them look sexy. Do not only display the data but tell its story. Literally, write a short script which describes the drama of your data under your dashboard. Aim for 5 to 10 projects that you would be truly proud of. Finally, make your LinkedIn profile and CV perfect. Those two things are output of your entire journey of becoming a data analyst. These are crucial for securing interview invitations. I've seen so many LinkedIn profiles and CVs with poor formatting or inappropriate photos, which led to instant rejection of otherwise talented individuals. I'm no exception. Look at the first CV in my life for an ocean lifeguard position when I was 19. Recipients probably thought it was a prank, but I was dead serious about it. Thus, invest time in researching how to craft a standout LinkedIn profile and CV. Review each section with ChatGPT or a career advisor if budget allows, or at least get feedback from your smartest friend. When you have everything in place, do not just blindly send your CV to every data analyst position you find. Carefully read each of them. Choose those you are mostly interested in. Tailor your CV according to the description. Remove unnecessary stuff and add anything relevant you can add. Write a nice cover letter, even if it is not required. And do not forget to consult at least with ChatGPT about it, and you're good to go. I know it's a lot. Depending on your starting point, the journey can take you some months or even years. But the right motivation should get you there even if you do not have a degree and short on money. So remember, intrinsic motivation. Point number 1 of this video. It is a fuel for success. Follow these steps and your probability to become the data analyst will be significantly higher. Guys, almost every point here deserves a separate video itself to cover it in depth, which I surely plan to do. If you think the video was useful, subscribe for more content like this and hands-on tutorials. Let's get into data analytics, but right.